It's a nice day outside today, you know. Coming a little bit different this video. Got the ski mask on, you know. And this is like on a random note, but like I went for like a run this morning, and like I remember like it was so hard to like run, cause like so it's February obviously, and in Georgia it gets really cold in February. So like I'm looking at the weather, it's like 38 degrees. I'm like, well, it's gonna be a cold run. And then, you know, I was like, God, this run's gonna be hard, but like I just pray you help me through it. And then literally I think like a minute later, he helps me find my ski mask. And then as I'm going on the run, like the cold air isn't even like affecting me anymore. It's just like a matter of like your cardiovascular system like giving out, and you're getting tired, but the cold's not like influencing you. So anyways, that's just a small thing I wanted to start by saying this video. But anyways, these past couple of days I've like realized something. Like I think like a lot of the reasons like I'm not moving in life, and like I say a lot of times in these videos, is like simply because I'm not moving. And I'll clarify. So I think I suffer from low testosterone levels, right? And you know, there's a couple of factors I think that like played into this. Like I live a very sedentary lifestyle. Like if you're not moving, if you're not weight training, if you're not like doing things that's like good for your body, then you're just naturally not gonna have high testosterone levels, right? So I've been doing some research, and so basically here are some of the things that like I've realized, right? So low testosterone levels, boom, how do we fix it? So first things first, like this one was one I was already doing, but I've heard like a really good chunk portion of where you get your high testosterone levels is sleep. So, you know, 8 hours of sleep at a minimum. You know, need to be asleep by like 10:30, so you can activate your optimal circadian rhythm, which is basically like your internal clock that your body knows what time you need to be asleep by. So that's the first thing. Second thing is weight training, right? And that's like one of the bigger things I learned is like, you know, heavy lifts, squats, deadlifts, bench press, compound movements, pull-ups, like all that stuff is great for your body. It's gonna biologically like just make you like better, stronger, more disciplined, more resilient. And another big thing is just eating whole foods, eating protein, eggs, chicken, beef, and then good foods like fruits and olive oils and healthy fats and healthy carbs like oatmeal and rice, like just whole foods, no processed foods, no sugars, right? But it's a lot easier said than done, which brings me to another point, right, where it's like consistency, you know, but not even consistency, just discipline, because discipline is what gives you that consistency, essentially. So ultimately, one of the good things I remembered is like you got to set like a non-negotiable like for yourself, like every day, whatever that may be, big or small. Just set a non-negotiable, and the more consistent you'll be with that, the more disciplined you'll be, and the more you'll move in life, right? So a big thing that's helped me with the gym that I've told my friend before and he's told me is like, for example, with the gym, if you just show up to the gym, that's like 50% of the work done right there. So instead of like overthinking about working out, just showing up is like good enough. If you can show up and just kind of like figure out along your way what you're gonna do when you're working out, that's still a win. Like, you showing up is like more than enough already, because you're training your body and your mental that, like, you're trying to build that habit of like treating the gym as like a priority, something important, you know. And one thing I also realized is, like, the more you exercise, the easier it is to not want to eat like bad food. So, like, for example, yesterday I was hanging out with some buddies, and I remember, like, it was like we were literally like saying to each other, like we never eat like this, like, unless like we're around each other, and we just ate like straight crap. We had like donuts and candy, and like I just remember, like, after that I was like, oh, that is not me, but like that used to be me. Like, that used to be the type of stuff I used to eat. And I just remember like thinking, like, dang, I've come a long way to like not even like enjoy these types of foods. It was so bad to the point where, like, one of my favorite candies, like, it didn't even taste good anymore. Like, I was like, guys, this usually tastes good. Like, this doesn't even taste good anymore. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, and that's what happens, like, when, like, to your body, like, when you start like prioritizing like eating clean whole foods and like moving your body doesn't even want like the crappy foods anymore. So that's another thing I learned. So yeah, discipline, especially if you're a man, like, testosterone is huge, because that's literally like what makes you like wake up every day and think like, I'm gonna like attack my day, I'm gonna be resilient. And it's gonna take time to build it up, because it's what's going on inside your body. So, like, just trying to hit the gym like 3-4 times a week, whatever you got to do. Make sure you're optimizing your sleep, because that's like the most important. But another thing is, like, it doesn't really matter the number of how long you sleep, but it's more of like the quality of your sleep, which is why prioritizing going to bed, around 10:30, somewhere before 10:30, is good for you, because, like I said, it's changing your circadian rhythm. And yeah, so just some things I'm moving. Like, in order to get moving, you have to get moving. So I'm just trying to optimize my health, my mental health. You need a spiritual, mental, and physical win every day. Physical win literally can just be as simple as just a 30-minute workout, maybe some cardio, Then you got your mental win, whether that's reading or, whatever the case may be for you. And then a spiritual win, and this stuff's important too. Like, depending on what you believe in, praying, meditation, whatever that may be. And over time, if you keep doing that day after day, you'll consistently get better. And then one thing I'm also starting to learn is, you got to pick a skill that like you're interested in. And if you just take like 30 minutes to an hour to learn that skill every day, but it's something like you actually want to do, that will help you grow and be more creative as an individual. And it really is like what you do after your 9 to 5, like, determines how you grow. Because a lot of people after their 9 to 5, they just get home, scroll, eat, whatever. But you need to be working after your 9 to 5 if you work at 9 to 5. So yeah, just stay praying, stay moving, and yeah, just keep working hard, and eventually what you want in this reality will be yours. So yeah, y'all stay blessed.